guys, Corie here with Alternate Route Coffee. This is my friend Celeste, and she's going to be telling us a little bit about her family's Costa Rican farm. So Celeste, how you doing? You excited?
Good, yeah, Corie. So excited to share this time with you, and
yeah, thanks for coming in. We really appreciate that. All right, my friends, so we're just going to dive right into it, I think.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so question number one. Let's see here. So can you tell us about the history and heritage?
Is your microphone at the other side, or right on?
It's gonna be like echoed out. Can you tell us about the history and heritage of your family's coffee farm and how it all began?
Sure. So I grew up in Santa Maria. That's how it's called. It's in the Tarrazu coffee region. It's a little bit in the San Jose province. It's a little bit, I have to explain all of this all the time because it's quite complicated. And even for us, it's also like quite complicated because we have like the political division of the country.
Yeah.
But then the Coffee Institute divided the country into coffee regions. So it's like the San Jose province. Inside that San Jose province, going south in the mountain area basically of the province.
Yeah.
Then it's in Dota, that's the county. In Santa Maria, it's like the head town of it.
Okay, amazing.
So I grew up there, and like the people who came to that town first.
Yeah.
It was like 5th generations ago, and that's one of my relatives, actually.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, so we grew up, like my grandfather started planting coffee, then it passed along to my grandfather, and then my grandfather, and then to my father, and now here I am.
Amazing. No, I love that.
It's so sort of like that.
And then obviously you came out to Canada just to kind of try to
exactly
sell your green coffee. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, now obviously, like compared to what the access of information, of knowledge, of learning English and everything that my dad had, it's totally different from mine, right? I was exposed to other things, and I think now, like this generation, we're looking more like this coffee producer generation.
Yeah.
We're all over Instagram, internet, and everything. So we got access 100%. To more exposure than before. So I think that's, now I'm here.
Yeah,
sitting right next to you.
I know, I'm so glad that we got to meet you. I think this is so cool. I think that, over time we've become super close, and then, super grateful we got to meet you. Okay, my next question. What makes this Catuai varietal unique compared to other varieties?
Sure. So the Catuai is common variety in coffee plantations in Costa Rica because it's pretty rustic, is what I would say. It's very resistant to disease. It's a small bush, which it makes it easier to pick up the coffee by hand.
Okay.
Because mostly in Costa Rica, everything is picked up by hand. So that was one of the perks. And also the quality is good and the production is good.
Yeah. Okay.
Cost effective. It's 100%
Yeah,
good.
that makes sense. Because some of these places, they're growing like all these exotic experimentals, and sometimes that doesn't work out, right?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
We've been doing a little bit of experimentation. So it depends also on the land. If it's too steep and too rocky, for example, it would be better to plant something like Catuai, that it could be quite resistant.
Yeah. Okay.
Than a geisha variety, for example, that it's already a very delicate coffee plant in general. Yeah.
Okay.
And like all these new varieties that we see in all this specialty coffee world,
it's
sometimes
hard to keep up with.
Exactly. And sometimes it's really tough, or it depends. You have to play around, right? Because what's the availability of land that you have to use?
Yeah, for sure.
So that comes into play.
Are there any special growing conditions or techniques that you guys use at the farm?
Well, sure. And this is also one of the considerations, right? Because it's not the same to grow coffee at a low altitude where the weather is warmer,
right,
or even more humid, more rain, than growing coffee at high altitude. Most of my coffee region is high altitude, so it's around we reach 2,000 meters above sea level. Super. So in that sense, for us, that means that harvest and production will be lower.
Okay.
Because it takes more time. Like, for example, if we plant coffee via a coffee plant, it will take 4 or 5 years to produce the first harvest. Yeah, and any plant to develop, it will take longer compared to lower. Then it comes like the maturation of the bean. It's different, so that creates more complex flavors.
Okay.
Too, right? But that's why quality is related to altitude. But also the diseases are different.
Yeah.
In our case, it's more fungi in general.
With the honey process?
Not at the process stage, but more in the production, like inside the farm. Yeah, because it can get too cold, but then when it starts raining too much, yeah, it develops this fungi ecosystem
interesting.
that
Okay.
then we need to take care of that.
Yeah.
And what was the techniques we use, I think we still keep, which is compared to other coffee regions, ours it's still not that, it's not sun open coffee plantations where they remove all the shade. I think we still keep a lot of that cultural way of producing coffee where we keep shade.
Yeah, yeah.
Because at the end, like, the coffee producer is not only coffee, it's a farmer.
Yeah.
So, for example, my dad decided to plant avocados in the middle of the coffee plantation to give shade to the coffee, but also obviously aiming to diversify economically the income for the farm.
Yeah, for sure.
Because sometimes, right, like coffee, it depends on the prices and everything.
Yeah.
But then we have a lot of banana plants that are pretty common inside coffee plantations.
Yeah, for sure.
We can use that for cattle, for example, like to feed the cattle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you take they can eat like the whole leaves and everything. It's actually
so
pretty
fun.
Yeah. So it's great. Or like guava trees or things like that. So then we have access to other kind of things, right?
Cool.
To fruits,
Yeah,
to
diversify. I
exactly.
like that. Good for
So
you guys.
it's
Cool.
that I would say that's one of the things that sets us apart. That we keep other coffee producers. They keep different kind of trees so they can have access to other things at the same time, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Question number 3 there, my friend. So what challenges do you face in producing these high quality coffee beans and how do you overcome them?
Wow. we could talk here for weeks.
We're on a time limit. Just kidding.
Okay, I will say when in terms of high quality comes, oh my god, so many things. Okay, let's focus on producing, like in terms of the farm, because then like selling, the marketing, right? Like making that differentiation between commercial coffee and specialty coffee, that's another thing.
Yeah.
But producing, you have to pay attention to detail.
Yeah, 100%.
So it comes down, right, like, roasting, it's exactly
Quality
the same,
control,
like quality control, paying attention to detail. In our case, like the processing, they have to be in the right,
that
bright
red,
bright winey red.
Yeah,
it has to be on point.
Yeah.
And every year is different because rain patterns are different, weather is different, so it's not exactly that
Yeah.
And then you have to manage that with the hand, with the pickers too, like, all the people that comes to pick the coffee.
Yeah, 100%.
So that, right, paying attention from that, and then like all the nutrition for the plant. Like if you have to produce high quality coffee, you have to pay attention to nutrition.
Yep.
And so that comes down to how you treat the soil, fertilization, whether it's like chemical inputs or organic inputs. A lot of work in general.
Question number 4. Can you walk us through a day in the life on your coffee farm during harvest season?
Oh my god, that's exciting. Sure. So usually the day starts at 5 a.m. Yeah. Well, everybody wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
We drive to the farm with all the guys, and the aim is to start picking coffee at 6 a.m.
And you're driving up in your Willy.
Yes. Yeah, well, now it's not the Willy. Now it's a much modern car. No, we did have that one, but at some point it's just like old cars that the brakes don't work properly and you're like going down with a lot of weight.
Oh my god.
So it depends on the day. It depends on which part they pick in the coffee.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if it's too steep, then it's more challenging, right?
For sure.
So I would say to start at 6, then we go all the way to 2, 3, and then it comes like the time to measure the coffee.
Right.
Where we have to go get there with the truck, fill all the truck with all the coffee, and you have to measure, you have to keep track and like data of how much every picker is picking.
And is that how you guys like pay them, Celeste? Is based on weight? Okay.
It's based on volume. In Costa Rica it's different. In other countries I know it's based on weight, like kilograms or pounds. In our case it's volume, and we use this cube to measure. Yeah, that's how it is. I really truly don't know why. Yeah, we do that. Then it depends, like, what are we going to do with that coffee. If it's like a very special variety, we will process ourselves.
Okay.
If it's the peak of the harvest,
yep,
and it's like this ripe cherry,
yeah,
that's the one we process. That's the one that you guys are roasting right now.
It's like an infomercial.
Yeah. And for example, if it's the beginning of the harvest, we will take that to the co-op.
Okay.
So we need to deliver every time, like once the pickers are done, we need to deliver right away the coffee, and then it gets processed either by us or either by the co-op.
Every day? Wow.
Yeah, every day you have to go, because then the coffee will start fermenting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a rigorous day.
Like the whole region gets activated. It's amazing, because the co-op works 24 hours when the harvest is happening.
I bet.
Because once they get to a peak, they have to process right away.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's 24 nonstop. It's incredible. Yeah.
Great. Can't wait for you to bring me to Costa Rica. All right, my friend. So here's a good question, actually. So how does your partnership with us at Alternate Route Coffee impact your local community and your farm?
I think just by the fact that you guys are aware of putting attention into sourcing quality and being open to pay a little bit more, that's already doing a lot for all the producers in general.
Awesome. That makes me so happy.
Yeah. You guys are paying attention to roasting very specifically, depending on how the coffee's tasting and everything.
Yeah.
And that just sets apart, like, it's totally different approach compared to commercial brands.
100%.
Right? That they don't even know where the coffee comes from. They don't care.
Yeah, just dark roast everything.
Exactly, and that's it. So just by the fact that you guys are aware and trying to build a business with those kind of values, and not only doing, like, helping my community, also, like, I know you guys buy from Colombia, from other countries, so that, like, making that difference, it's already a lot, and it already shows, like, it's an example, right, for other people that works in coffee, what things they could do eventually, right?
No, 100%. It makes a difference too, like, getting to talk to you in person and hear your story. It just, I think, makes us want to be better coffee roasters and push ourselves and, like, show up for you guys a little bit. Like, we want to represent your coffee well. So that makes me happy.
Yeah, exactly. And it also, like, just these kind of things, it gives exposure, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And giving education to the consumer, that helps the producer.
Yeah, no, it gets their name out there for sure. Like, we can't say enough good things. And it is cool when customers come in, see the Costa Rica on our shelves. Yeah. And I'm like, like, we've met Celeste. Like, she's like one of our friends. Like, she comes out and cups with us. Like, she's told us about her father. So next question. What kind of drew you to working with us? Like, what made you choose us? What do you value, I guess, about, like...
Well, exactly what I just said. Like, because
Above and beyond.
Yeah, just by the fact that you guys pay attention to, or that right, that when it's something related to specialty coffee, that the producer is important.
Hold that thought. UPS is here. Keep that in the clip. So yeah, why do you value, I guess, working with us?
Yeah, exactly that, right? Like, I remember when I met Ian and I met you, and you guys were tracking, like, the roasting curve.
Yeah, exactly.
That I was like, this is my people.
I'm staying here. Sweet. Oh, that makes me so happy. I know it's a little bit of a drive, but we definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, because I mean, it means that you guys care. So for me, that was the main point.
Oh, amazing. I love that. Next question there, boss. So are there any sustainable organic practices you follow? I know kind of at the farm level, from what I've seen in some scenarios, is, you know, unfortunately farmers can't, like, afford that certification, but you guys do use a lot of organic practices.
Yeah, I mean, for me, at the term of the farm is to keep biodiversity high.
Yes.
So as much different kind of shade we can keep inside the farm, it's totally, like, it's one of the practice that we try to keep all the time.
Good for you guys.
We compost the red peel, and then it goes into it. Won't compensate the amount of fertilizer we need,
right?
And then we need to source different kind of organic compost too outside the farm.
Yeah.
And my goal with that, it's to create a better quality of soil.
Super cool.
Yeah.
No, so good for you guys. That's awesome. Yeah, we can always strive to do things better. I guess one of my last questions here, what quality control measures do you guys have in place during harvesting and processing stages?
Okay, so to measure, like, the ripeness of the coffee bean, to know that they're ready to be handpicked.
Yeah.
We measure bricks. That is the amount of sugar that it's a small little machine.
Yeah.
It's a small, tiny machine, so you can measure the quantity of sugar. So depending on that amount, then you can actually say, okay, this part of the farm is ready to go.
Oh,
Let's
super
do
cool.
it. Yeah. You can also do it, like, eyeballing with the color if you're very experienced in, but this is just to make sure that we're on the right track.
Oh,
right?
super cool. I know I met a farmer one time and he like bit into the
Yeah,
bean. And
exactly.
He's like, no, this is 13% moisture. It needs another. I'm like, okay, that's very specific. But of course, like in some of these areas, you don't have a lot of access to like high-end equipment. So,
no, exactly. You don't. Thank God Amazon exists now. Like, yeah, because like my dad couldn't have access to that.
Oh, for sure.
And now you can just order it, and it's becoming cheaper and cheaper.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so it's not an expensive equipment anymore. Thank God.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but and then after that, while we're drying the coffee, we use sunbeds and everything. So we have to measure humidity for sure. That they're like this guy, probably the one, because you can bite.
Yeah.
And then you can tell like this is ready or not. I'm not there yet.
Oh,
I wish I wish I was there. But no, we have a small moisture machine because it's drying.
To be that like 10 to
12%. Yeah, that will be ready for exportation, basically.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, I think that was all the questions I had for you today. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with me. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Corie.
Yes,
This was
of
awesome.
course. Yeah, love that. Thanks, dude.
Right.